Welcome to this Saturday update in which we are going to look at a case of the markets in the outlook for 2023 updated version. I said that I've been very bullish on the crypto markets at the beginning of this year, and I was projecting a relief rally towards 35 to 40k. At this point, we are in the middle of this run and we are facing a few crucial resistances. So we're going to look at that in this relatively short update. From next week on, I try to make the updates a little bit longer so I can explain more to you. But before we continue, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also check out my free trade letter, check out the premium platform which gives you opportunities to follow two traders with their portfolios. And also we've got more trade ideas as FX and crypto. Also, you can test the platform for free for 1 week, which you can find beneath as well. And this is the final day for the bonus we have with BitGet, $2,000 user share. More importantly, up to $8,000 deposit bonuses, and also 15% discount on your trading fees on the first month if you trade through my affiliate. Plus, we start with a trading competition relatively soon and more exclusive giveaways for affiliates only. When we're looking at the markets for Bitcoin at this point, you can see on the screen that we're looking at a case where we are rejecting the 200-week MA. So on top of the screen, you can see the RSI, which is making a strong bullish divergence on the weekly chart, which indicates that we've potentially been hitting the bottom already. In that case, we have been making this sweep downwards from I guess it was 20k towards the area of 15.6 as FTX collapsed. This was actually the moment that the markets of the US, the indices, started to rally up, which means that the correlation has flipped with crypto and we started to fall south. If you go back in time a little bit more, we also know that during this entire crash since here, around 40k, we started to fall to 17k, which was due to the fact that Luna has collapsed and the markets have been falling beneath the 200-week MA for the first time ever since Bitcoin existed, which means maturing of the markets, which is going to mean that in the future we probably are going to see this happening again. But ultimately, it also concludes that the valuation of crypto is ultimately very low at this point, and there's lots of gains to make to the upside, which is why right now we have been seeing this case in which the correlation has flipped and we have been rallying back up, but there's still so much to gain in the case of upside liquidity to take, but also the fact that we have not been rallying during this period as FTX, the intrinsic market shock, took place, and therefore we could be facing 30 to 35k at this point already. So what we're looking at, we are rejecting the 200-week MA, that's this blue line, and we are just consolidating. The ultimate question is, are we going to get into a new bottoming procedure? Are we going to hit a new low due to macro events? I think that we have not been witnessing a recession aside from one in 2015, 2016. We are not into a recession at this point because the data is just showing that we aren't. Potentially we are facing a relatively big crisis because real estate markets and debt markets are collapsing. In that case, ultimately, if that starts to take place, we could be getting into a recession. But before it starts to take place, we can even rally towards 40k, as usually the debt markets and real estate markets impacts take approximately 6 to 12 months after the final hike takes place of the Fed, which means that we are still in the phase of having relief at this point and the actual impact doesn't take place. And the fact that it takes so long is due to mortgages just having such a period before they get defaulted. In that case, we rejected the 200-week MA, which means sideways action is most likely at this point. We see that as well, as currently we are facing around 23.5k. Probably a few more weeks of sideways action. FOMC comes in. They still continue to lower the hikes, potentially pause it because the impact on inflation starts to take place. And then we, in Q2, end of Q2, we start to continue rallying here. Worst case is that we're going to drop towards the range low at 18k, and that drop towards 18k is still an investment opportunity for yourself because the valuation of Bitcoin is extremely low at this point. And I think that you should erase all the noise that you get from outside with macro is going to kick off the markets downwards, this and that. Yeah, I know, but right now we also have a hype with China, which says that we are going to have a China bull run because of crypto being adopted into Hong Kong or opening the gates. Do you recall that we have been dropping here because China banned mining? So don't push yourself into the hyped pictures, just look at the price and look at the data, and Bitcoin is the ultimately a most undervalued asset at this point. Finally, if we look at the total market cap, I think the bottoming procedure is so clear over there. We have been retesting the previous all-time high here, which concluded in the fact that we had a double bottom, including a weekly bullish divergence, and we have been reclaiming the fall of FTX actually pushed us beneath the 200-week MA. We had a reclaim of the 200-week MA, which means that the grind can continue, and once we break through 670 billion, we can blast all the way to 1.2 trillion or potentially even higher. Make sure to hit the like button, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll be back tomorrow with a short update. Ciao!